Tonight, the city of New York hosts a special version of World Championship Boxing. In a heavyweight doubleheader, we'll bring you first the up-and-coming Tyrell Biggs versus the potentially dangerous Renaldo Snipes. In 1984, Biggs was the super heavyweight Olympic champion. Today, undefeated as a professional, Biggs can move one step closer to a title shot. But first, he must beat his toughest opponent to date, Renaldo Snipes. If remembered for one moment, it would be that famous night 5 years ago when a thundering right brought him within one punch of the heavyweight title as champion Larry Holmes hit the canvas for the first time in his career. We'll also look back at the crowning of boxing's newest champion, the sensational Mike Tyson, who 3 weeks ago... And boxing just belongs in this great arena. Well, at a heavyweight championship night like this, we're usually talking about the tension, the anticipation, the electricity in the air. Well, not much electricity tonight. It's sort of battery-powered. And in fact, the batteries aren't included. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, along with Sugar Ray Leonard and Larry Merchant. And a funny kind of week, Larry. We've got left nearly champions. We've got sometimes champions. And we've got wannabe champions. Tony Tubbs was in, then he was out. Tim Witherspoon was out, then he was in. Strange goings-on.
Well, the main thing is we do have fights tonight, which wasn't always certain this week, and we'll get to more of that and all the craziness of the boxing politics later on. But the importance of this night really is that these are the first major heavyweight fights in the era of Mike Tyson, and we have the two fighters who are given the best chance of trying to cope with him. Biggs, Olympic champion and a boxer. Witherspoon, a champion. All they've got to do now is win.
Well, let's talk about winning, Ray Leonard. Let's talk first of all about Tyrell Biggs. He's the guy now that everybody's going to be talking about. He was the Olympic champion, and yet there's been criticism about him. He can't punch. What do you see with him tonight?
Well, one thing about Tyrell Biggs, Barry, is the fact that he carries into the ring tonight something that heavyweights will pay for what they work hard for. A natural left jab, good movement, good hand speed. One thing about it, if Tyrell Biggs can forget about the public's expectations because he won the Olympics and the pressure's on him, forget about that and beat Tyrell Biggs, we'll see a lot more of him.
Well, it seems as though Tyrell Biggs might be the one bright light in a division that many feel is not a very colorful division. And tonight for him, well, it's graduation night, coming out, if you will. Tyrell Biggs takes a big step tonight. He's got to fight an on-again, off-again heavyweight who could be trouble, named Renaldo Snipes.
He has height and reach, and he uses it because he has the best left hand in the game.
I think as soon as he fights for the title, he could be at the top.
I'm not convinced that he's going to go all the way.
Tyrell Biggs!
He's a breath of fresh air in the division.
Larry Holmes lived a long time off a left hand.
I haven't seen the kind of fire that champions have.
Tyrell Biggs has always lived on the thin line of success and failure, sometimes living both at the same time. In 1984, Biggs won the super heavyweight gold medal at the Olympic Games, but was criticized for his lack of knockouts along the way. That criticism carried over into the professional ranks. In his first pro fight, Tyrell Biggs chased an overmatched and an underwilling Mike Evans around the ring for 6 rounds before getting the decision. Again, the criticism flowed freely. Fans blamed Biggs for once again not knocking out his opponent.
In his professional boxing debut, Big Tyrell Biggs.
Perhaps this failure is what caused Biggs to lapse into heavy alcohol and cocaine use. Biggs checked into a drug rehabilitation clinic just before Christmas of 1984, after admitting he'd spent $40,000 on drugs in just 3 months after signing his first pro contract. He returned from the clinic 21 days later, determined to stay straight.
I admired the whole way he handled all of that because, you know, I mean, it wasn't a problem unique to boxing or unique to sports, but Tyrell was pretty out front about it. I mean, he first admitted publicly that he had the problem, then he went out and took care of it. And it doesn't seem to affect him now.
How Tyrell Biggs was effective became apparent immediately. He abandoned his defensive style and took to the offensive, racking up 6 consecutive knockouts. Biggs' managers, Lou Duva and Shelley Finkel, were impressed enough to finally step up the quality of Tyrell's opponents. Against Quick Tillis, Biggs exhibited enough aggression to completely outbox the much more experienced fighter. Fans and media alike finally seemed willing to believe Biggs had changed his style to suit professional boxing.
I think his style's perfect for professional boxing now. He just has to get used to it because he fights completely different as he fought as an amateur. He doesn't go back as much, and he's not off balance as much, and he's learned to plant himself and throw the right hand once in a while. The left hand makes the right hand good because the left hand is sensational.
Having a sensational left hand helped Biggs emerge from his toughest test as a fighter. In the second round of his fight with Jeff Sims, a solid right broke Tyrell's collarbone. With a useless right arm, Biggs still outpointed Sims with movement and a stinging left jab.
It proved to him that he had heart. He had the broken shoulder in the second round, and he stayed in there, and he with a very tough hitter, and didn't back off. He won the fight, and his confidence from that point on, it's what he needed.
Since Biggs' recovery from his injury, there's been some question whether he has reverted back to his earlier, less potent style. Fighting lesser opponents than before his injury, Biggs raised a few eyebrows when he failed to put away Purcell Davis in September.
The last couple of fights I've seen him, he had one in the Felt Forum and then another in Atlantic City against Purcell Davis. He was not impressive. He seems to have gone back a little bit. Now, whether that's a product of the broken collarbone and a little timidity about that, or whether he's just not as good as we expected he would be, that remains to be seen.
We might just see how good Tyrell Biggs is tonight as he takes a step up in opponents to face Renaldo Snipes. Earlier in his career, Snipes rocked Larry Holmes with the right hand, which almost brought a heavyweight title to the upstart challenger. This same Renaldo Snipes is one of only 5 men to defeat former WBC champion Trevor Berbick. And after a 2-year hiatus, Snipes is back, ready for the long climb toward another title shot. This time, there's Tyrell Biggs, a man with something to prove in his way.
Yes, I think I do have a little to prove, but I think I'm always going to be in that kind of situation. And for some reason, I always feel like I'm in a no-win situation, so I just not really get caught. I'd rather not get caught up in that and just do what I feel that I can do and do what I know I can do and let everything kind of manifest itself, you know, and not worry about, trying to prove anything or not. You know, I know what my goal is in order to, my goals are going into this fight, and that's to win and to win impressively. And whether I'm impressed, you know, if I can win impressive enough for me, then, then that's all that matters.
So, as you heard, the jury really still is out on Tyrell Biggs, and no question about it, we will get a few more answers tonight because he does get a fellow who at least at one time would have had to be considered a quality opponent. He's fought only 12 times despite the fact that he's been a professional fighter, actually almost as long as Mike Tyson, the champion. 12 wins and 8 knockouts, and of course the rap on him has been that he doesn't really pack a big punch. What about his opponent, Renaldo Snipes? Well, he was a very bright hope in the heavyweight division at one point. He was 1 punch away from winning the title. He was 22-0 at the time he fought Larry Holmes, but then after that he went 1-4-1 before laying off for almost 2 years. Now he's back into the ring trying to get it back together, and he's been troubled by lesser lights. So he too has something to prove. So what are the keys going to be in this fight tonight? Well, of course, we went to the source, Ray Leonard. Let's get Ray's tips on what it takes tonight.
Well, Bert, for Renaldo Snipes, he possessed that classic right hand. And that right hand was able to send then heavyweight champion Larry Holmes to the canvas. And here we see Snipes set him up, and pow, beautiful right hand. Larry was in serious trouble here and almost lost his title. The reason that right hand works for Snipes is because you really can't see it coming. And it's the perfect counterpunch if Tyrell Biggs should drop his left hand. So what Biggs has to do is keep that left jab. Here has a consistent left jab, and he beats his opponents. Here against Evans, in fact, he broke his collarbone. That left hand helped him score points and get him out of trouble. One thing about Tyrell Biggs, he can't afford to drop that left hand or else he'll be countered. So it's jab against the right hand.
And here is the tail of the tape. Biggs will be 26 in a couple of weeks, so he's not a young professional in terms of someone who's just come out of the Olympics. And so he's on a different timetable than Mike Tyson was. Biggs had a longer amateur career. And here is our punch stat, our cumulative look at some of these fighters and how they fight. You can see that Biggs in 2 fights threw 60 to 70 punches. Snipes threw many fewer punches in these fights. And of course, the way he punches depends on his opponent. Biggs and his jabs, you can see how many he throws around. That's a lot of jabs for a heavyweight. And there's Snipes' right hand. And once again, how often he throws that right hand depends on how his opponent fights him.
And here are the rules in the state of New York. They score by rounds here in New York. There is a mandatory 8 count. A fighter can be saved by the bell only in the last round. And because this is not a title fight, the 3 knockdown rule will be in effect. The ring doctor can stop the fight. So those are the rules. You've met the fighters. Now let's go to the ring announcer, Ed Darian, for the introductions.
From New York City's Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, Don King Productions, in association with Madison Square Garden, presents the scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout. Is approved and sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The former light heavyweight champion of the world, Jose Torres, chairman. Rose Tretman and Jimmy Dupree, commissioners. The chief physician in attendance at ringside this evening is Dr. Frank S. Folk, along with his 2 fine colleagues, Dr. Billy Lathan and Dr. Richard Estrico. The judges, Billy Graham, Victor Suarez, and Carol Castellano. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Joe Santarpia. The timekeeper to bell is Cecilio Pedraja. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout, referee Tony Perez. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with the gold trim. He tipped in at 219.5 pounds. This gentleman has 26 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with 13 knockouts. From Yonkers, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is Renaldo, Mr. Snipes. Snipes. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks. He weighed in at an even 220 pounds. This young man is undefeated in 12 professional bouts with 8 knockouts. The 1984 Olympic gold medalist in the super heavyweight division, and is now ranked number 6 by the World Boxing Association. From the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, here is Big Tyrell Biggs.
Biggs, Snipes. I want a good clean fight. If you give me a good clean fight, I won't bother either one of you. Just go and knock down. I'm going to put you in the farthest ultra corner. Stay there. Don't come out because you're only going to be hurting yourself. 3 knockdown rule in New York is in effect. All right? And the bell will not save anybody from being knocked out. Fight on the floor. The bell ring, please stay away. Okay? Any questions? Shake hands. Good luck to both.
So Renaldo Snipes coming in as heavy as he's ever been. Snipes, incidentally, since coming back after that long layoff, has won 3 and lost none, but we should point out he's been hurt by the likes of Bobby Crabtree and Donnie Long in his last fight, which we saw, Ray, in Atlantic City. Unimpressive.
Well, that indicates that he wasn't concentrated and he wasn't really motivated to face those less formidable opponents. I think here with Tyrell Biggs, he understands that beating this guy, former Olympic champion, gives him that exposure, gives him back that recognition that he so rightfully deserves, he feels.
And there was that right hand, and he got it right over the dropped left.
That's the reason he was able to land, Barry, because Biggs has a habit of dropping that left hand. And the best way to connect is with the counter right hand.
Well, that, without question, woke up Tyrell Biggs.
Good snapping left jab. You have to be very careful with Renaldo Snipes because the way he moves around is up and down. It tends to lull you to sleep, and that's when he drops the right hand.
He's always been what boxing people call a cute fighter. He gives you a lot of different looks. Sometimes gets a little bit lazy, however, and that's cost him a couple of decisions. We saw him lose a fight to Alfredo Evangelista just by being too cute too long.
For Tyrell Biggs to continue to win, he just has to fight his fight better. He just can't try to do what the public want him to do. Want him to be a brawler. He's not a brawler. Good height, reach advantage, good snapping left jab, very consistent left jab. That's the way you fight. That's the way you win. You win on points, not necessarily knockouts.
Good shot there. A lot of speculation that Snipes' jaw is not what it once was, that he can be had. Short left hand, right hand rather by Biggs that time. Left hand by Biggs. That's the end of the first round, and an
interesting round for Biggs because he did stay flat-footed for the most part, even after he caught a couple of punches.
Coming up, of course, we will have the championship fight between Terrible Tim Witherspoon and James Bone Crusher Smith.
And there you see Tim Witherspoon being bandaged, so he is here. He will fight. We will have a championship prize fight tonight.
Right hands and them good left hooks. Just keep that jab going, right?
I'm just trying to throw wild punches out there, baby. You pick everything apart. Come on, let's go. You pick everything apart. Let's go.
Lou Duva and George Benton.
Come on, let's go.
Get up close.
Second round, and we will watch, of course, the conditioning of Renaldo Snipes. We mentioned he is heavier than he's been.
A lot of guys can't contend with that left jab, especially if it's consistent. You notice there, Snipes attempt to throw a left hook, and he missed. Keeping that jab in the opponent's face keeps him off balance.
It's a wild left hook at that.
Now, one thing about it now, the way that Biggs is carrying that right hand, he needs to bring it up because that's definitely a left hook, counter left hook by Snipes. You notice now also, even Biggs' jab, as he brings it back, he drops it. A lot of times he's quick enough to get away with it, but it's really not a good habit.
Well, he's always likened himself, of course, like most fighters, to Muhammad Ali. And, of course, Ali would keep those hands down, especially at long range.
Well, you know, normally I used to fight the same way, keep my hands down, but not in April. It's a good stinging left jab.
Snipes, Ray, this looks as though he might just be waiting to load up the one big shot.
Well, that's the best thing that Snipes has going for him, that power.
There was a right hand by Biggs, and that slowed Snipes.
Because Tyrell Biggs is so well distributed, his weight, he has the making of a good heavyweight champion.
Snipes swinging very wildly here.
There's a weapon in the left eye.
There was a good right hand, and Biggs feigned being hurt.
Biggs keeping those hands very high, blocking those shots.
Right hand by Biggs. Counter punching left by Biggs, and a lot of missing going on at the bell.
Renaldo Snipes is the sort of fighter who swings hard just in case he hits something, as Boog Powell, the old first baseman, once said.
Nice work. Good work. Okay? Bring a little bit more. Too long. Yeah. Good job. He's going up. Baby, start in the body, finish in the top. Can't come right away to the top. You understand what I say? Yeah. Stop in the body, equal and go. But you have to work with him. Don't get him tight. Don't punch so wide, right? You got me?
Hold those elbows in, baby. Hold those elbows in.
Keep the jab going. Keep sticking him in the belly and the chest with that jab, right? Yeah. He's slowing down. The body and chest with that left hand, right? Okay.
Your body punches are starting to do it. That jab is starting to do it, baby. Let that gun go.
Push it back with that jab.
Push it back. Come on.
Now
push it back with that.
Push him back with the jab.
Come on, you're boxing beautiful out there. Now let's do it.
This is a case study in whether a leopard can change his spots, I suppose. Muhammad Ali was Biggs' idol, and he tried to box like Ali early in his career. Now he's come down flat-footed and trying to put some sting in his punches.
A lot of wild punches in the second round. Mostly from Mr. Snipes. There was that overhand right hand again by Snipes. And a left hand, and that backs Biggs off.
Oh, I love the way that Tyrell Biggs keeping those hands high. Good defense. And now he retaliates with a couple left jabs. Catching the gloves of Renaldo Snipes. That left jab there got through. Rolling with the punches. He's taking the sting off the punches of Renaldo Snipes.
Sort of picking punches with that right hand, very similar to what Tim Witherspoon does.
Three left jabs. You notice that he had both feet together. Renaldo Snipes, completely off balance here.
Snipes throwing arm punches predominantly.
What I've noticed, Barry, and I must say this, that Tyrell Biggs have gotten a lot stronger. Getting a lot more power behind his punches. Very patient. He knows where he's putting his punches.
And you know, you have the idea, I hesitate to say this, but you have the idea that Tyrell Biggs has already taken Renaldo Snipes' best shots. He took another one right there.
Three big punches that didn't land. Woo!
And there was a short right hand. At the bell. Bell has rung.
That was a terrific round, I thought, for Biggs, because Snipes was sniping away, fanning the breeze, going after him. He kept his poise and dropped that right in just perfect at the end of the flurry.
Stand up front and the guy, baby. Don't stand up front and the guy like that. Drink.
Let's go back and see it. Snipes has thrown about 8 windmill punches, and there he is. He stepped inside of him. That's the way the textbook says you should do it. Don't try to get away from punches by jumping away, but stand inside the arc of the punches so that you can punch back. And Georgie Benton, his trainer, couldn't be more proud of him right now. Take another look at that. The left. Yes, sir. Maybe the most impressive punch, given the opposition, he has thrown in his entire career, amateur or professional.
Captured, incidentally, impressively by Jeff Christian, our cameraman in that corner. You saw a brilliant close-up shot of that punch. Probably felt it.
Well, now Snipes is aware of the punching power and the growth and maturity of Tyrell Biggs. Tyrell Biggs even looks stronger.
Biggs now fighting like a confident fighter.
Look at the confidence now in Tyrell Biggs. Hands low. He needs to keep those hands high, because some of those punches are looping and you really don't see him coming. Oh, he just has this man in complete control.
Really sorry performance by Snipes, as good as it is for Tyrell Biggs.
Snipes is still hurt though, Barry. The movement, the hand speed of Tyrell Biggs is really starting to do him in. Now, once you have a heavy puncher in trouble, like Renaldo Snipes, this is when you really do him in. And I think that what Biggs is doing is trying to let him punch himself out and let him commit himself to a mistake. But again, he has to be quite careful, Barry, because Snipes still can't put you away.
Snipes, another wild right hand. Biggs looking as though he's trying to work inside.
Now, with those wide punches that Snipes is throwing, this is when Biggs needs to counter. He needs to start countering, keep his punches shorter.
This has happened with Renaldo Snipes before. We mentioned even as recently as his last fight with Donnie Long and with another relative unknown named Bobby Crabtree, he was hurt both times and came back to win the fights. However, he's not in there tonight with Bobby Crabtree or Donnie Long.
He really had a chance to put Renaldo Snipes out of it. It seems like there's a swelling or cut on the left eye of Tyrell Biggs.
Yeah, there is blood coming from the left eye. It looks to be underneath. We'll try to keep an eye on it, of Tyrell Biggs. Doesn't appear to be too serious. In fact, you can't even really see where the cut is.
It's a nasty cut, appears to me now.
Snipes did recover in that round and fought well, given how he ended the last round, but there is a cut over Biggs' eye, and let's see how serious it is.
I know he did, but it's not a bad touch. It's too small.
No, it's not. That's all.
Keep him on the end of the jab, right? You all right? Now keep him right on the end of that jab.
All right, Harold Letterman, our unofficial judge. How do you see it?
Well, thank you, Larry. I have it 4-0. I think Tyrell Biggs is doing too much with his jab. And in the fourth round, Renaldo Snipes picked up the action a little bit, but I thought that Tyrell still outpunched him.
And there you see our promo for the fact that after tonight's action, we will show you once again Mike Tyson's dramatic and sensational victory over Trevor Berbick a few weeks ago in Las Vegas. You'll see that fight again tonight. And you'll hear from the horse's mouth as Mike Tyson is ringside with us and will join us after this fight. Incidentally, you might have heard Tyrell Biggs say to Lou Duva that he butted me, and that's how the cut occurred. But they also said it did not appear to be a serious cut. It is, however, over the eye, not alongside it. That can potentially cause problems.
Well, that headbutt could have been prevented by Tyrell Biggs continuing to box and stay on the outside. He did not need to go inside and suffer that unnecessary headbutt.
Again, a wild left hand that does get in from Snipes, but it's all arm and not a lot of snap. Good shot.
Again, I would suggest that Biggs keep those hands a little higher because Renaldo Snipes is going for broke, actually. He's putting something behind each punch. And although most of them are missing, it just takes one. Good stinging left jab by Tyrell Biggs.
And there was a big right hand by Biggs.
You notice what Renaldo Snipes is doing. He's starting to ride back with that right hand of Biggs.
There's another right hand by Snipes, but again, he starts it at the top of his shoes and comes up over.
You notice that Biggs dropped that left hand again. Right hand, but Biggs' right hand came first.
Well, Biggs just gets punches off so much quicker than Snipes. That was caught largely on the gloves.
But it seemed to buckle Renaldo Snipes.
It did.
Biggs has a lot of opportunities to fire back.
Snipes continuing to just try to load up with one. There was a big left hand by Snipes that caught Biggs flush. And a right hand. And there's a right hand from Biggs.
Biggs actually is making this fight tougher.
Tougher than he needs to.
Yes, by standing toe-to-toe.
Biggs' problem is that when he does happen to hit, Snipes' problem is when he does happen to hit Biggs, it doesn't do much damage.
Keep your head steady. Keep your head steady.
Baby, a little lazy, baby. We have to be more aggressive. You understand what I say?
Take your feet down. Relax. Round 6, baby. Round 6.
Round 6.
Gotta go to work. Okay. Man. This is where you take command.
Don't give it advance to him. Okay? Come on.
Let's do it.
Let's when you're close to him. Don't just time him. Just move your hands.
Once again, they're ministering to the cut, which stayed closed in that last round.
When you're on the inside using that dead weight and throwing uppercuts, right?
All right.
Just keep your hands up high and just keep sticking them and stabbing them. Come your way, hands up high. All right? Hit the big. Stay on the floor. Go up, boy.
You may recall earlier that Biggs thought that a butt cut his eye. Our people back in our truck have looked at the entire second round when the cut appeared and fifth round and could find no evidence of a butt.
There's Snipes trying to get that right hand in. And he's doing actually the same thing. Working to the body, jab to the head, and then all of a sudden a surprise right hand to the head. Work that jab up and down. They're yelling from Biggs corner to snap that jab, not to bring it back so slow.
They also told Snipes when he was in close to try to uppercut when he got in there.
The speed of the jab is really frustrating Renaldo Snipes, because that way he can't see the right hand coming.
Got in with the left, but was a little short with the right. As effective as Tyrell Biggs has been at times in this fight, it still seems like he has a ways to go.
Well, I tell you, one thing about it, he has gotten stronger. No question about it, he is faster. But what's going to come as he gains experience, he will learn how to take a man out once you get him hurt. And that comes with time. And with good trainers like Georgie Bent.
Seconds remaining here in round number 6. Little has changed from the previous 5.
Continues to do a workmanlike job. It's clear that he has changed his style. It's also clear he'll never be a powerhouse. And coming up in a time, we'll have a heavyweight championship fight, the WBA title fight between Tim Witherspoon and Bone Crusher Smith. And here is the Bone Crusher in his locker room.
There's a man over there. Excited.
Let this guy hustle you. You understand? And don't get careless with the guy now. You hear what I'm talking about? Now, if the guy tries to outfight you on the inside, now you got to get down and get it. No problem. You understand? You got to reach back and get it. Yeah. Don't let this guy outfight you. Now look, Biggs, you got the jab. Don't get this guy out jabbing you now. You got to out jab him and don't let him out hustle you on the inside now.
Come on, you're slowing up. You're slowing up.
So sage advice in the corner of Tyrell Biggs as we start the 7th round. And Biggs immediately picking the pace up with the jab here to start the 7th round.
Again, Tyrell Biggs decides to stay close to Renaldo Snipes. Whether he's trying to out-muscle him or what. But I found him more effective on the outside. Because Biggs' hands are so quick, he can get away with a lot of shots because his punches come so fast. But his leverage is on the outside. You notice when he was able to drop Renaldo with that beautiful right hand. And it's starting to happen again. He's starting to set his man up.
And Snipes, all of a sudden, I didn't see any punch that did any particular damage, but all of a sudden Snipes looks like he's just out of it here.
See, that's what Biggs can't do. He can't start telegraphing his punches. He's in the ring with the dangerous punches.
From Snipes as he retaliates after looking very lethargic for about a minute.
Barry, the way these guys are punching here, it's just a matter of who lands the first punch. And you'll notice because they're just winging their shots. And whoever is up there is going to be hit.
The left hand, and that drives Snipes back, and Snipes...
Good body shot, right?
Snipes' legs are really gone here. Now we'll see if Biggs can finish. Inside of 10 seconds.
A very good round for Biggs. I don't think I've ever seen such a remarkable transformation of a fighter, because there was an old saying that you just couldn't change the way a fighter fought. It's almost like Chevy Chase trying to play Shakespeare. Harold, how do you have the fight?
Larry, a very, very big 6-1 for Tyrell Biggs. The only time Renaldo can be effective, as Ray Leonard said, is when he gets inside like he did in the 6th round.
Watch Biggs as he stays in tough. This is something he never did as an amateur and early in his professional career. You have to credit his trainers, and especially you have to credit himself for wanting to make himself over into a professional fighter. Too many fighters who stay too long as amateurs never can change. Greg Page being a prime example.
Well, normally when a fighter reaches like 25, 26, it's quite difficult to change his style, to change his mentality. But here in Tyrell Biggs, he's definitely become a reborn fighter. Stronger, quicker, and smarter.
So this is round number 8. We're going 10 here. And Renaldo Snipes is puffing pretty good in his corner between rounds.
Now Snipes is starting to drop his left hand. Good right hand by Tyrell Biggs. Good sneaky right hand. See, Snipes wants Biggs to fight this type of fight. Gives him a better chance of scoring punches. But I don't know now, because now Biggs started shorting his punches up, bringing his punches up through the middle.
And his shorter punches have been the more effective punches in this fight.
It's hard to tell, but I know from experience, those little shots that Biggs is throwing to the midsection is doing a great deal of damage. You probably see that Snipes starting to slow down with his punches. His arms will start to drop too. And you can attribute the body shots.
Very little damage being done at close quarters against the ropes. Good right hand there by Biggs.
That was a good move by Biggs. All Renaldo Snipes was doing was taking a breather. Not doing damage. Just trying to catch his wind.
Bounced off the ropes and caught Biggs with a right hand. Slapping left hand by Snipes. Snipes just doesn't seem to have much left.
Right here, baby. Good. Beautiful. Come on, now let's go.
No. Listen. Don't let this guy keep you on the move. Right. You understand? Right. Now listen, man.
Get them down. Get them down. Come on.
You understand? Right. Now keep it on outside with that jab a little more, right? You know what? Look, now listen.
Hey, just give me that one.
On the straight body behind the jab. Huh? Now try that straight right into the body behind the jab. Now don't get far away from the joint.
Stay with him. 9 rounds coming up. Push a little bit more. You're in great shape. You is better than him. Okay? Drink it. Okay?
Push. Now you push. Water. Now you push. 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 Look around. Start snapping those jabs. Come on, you're doing beautiful out there. Come on, you got to keep them out.
Out hustle this guy. Don't let him out hustle.
Come on, don't let him out. Don't lose him. Let's go, right? Let's get him out. Let's go. Come on, Big. Let's go. Face that guy. Let's go.
So we come to round number 9, and a fight that pretty much has been owned by Tyrell Biggs since that right hand in the first round by Renaldo Snipes. Actually, the first punch thrown in the fight. Probably about as good a shot as Snipes has had at Biggs, and Biggs didn't flinch. And from that point on, Biggs has been in control.
That left hook by Snipes kind of brought some attention to Tyrell Biggs. Now the jab, once again, is starting to work for Biggs. Up and down, to the body, to the head. Good stinging, very consistent jab.
Biggs aimed that right hand and that one.
Biggs has been, Snipes have been trying to counter the jab of Tyrell Biggs, but it's coming so fast and coming so plentiful that he can't get on balance.
There's another right hand by Snipes. But again, about as good as Snipes can do, and it had no effect apparently on Biggs. And another.
All Snipes doing now is just pretty much just walking to his man, just trying to land a one punch. Off balance.
That was a good left hand by Snipes right on the chin of Biggs.
And that is not by the book by all any means. Because both feet are together, Snipes. Look here, both feet are together. He's off balance, but he still possessed enough strength to put a man down.
I think Biggs might be a little bit tired here also.
He's ready to go. Snipes is ready to go. This is when experience comes in to take a man out when he's hurt.
And now we're inside of 10 seconds in the 9th round. And there was a right hand by Biggs at the bell.
Since Jack Johnson, only 2 boxers have ever kept the heavyweight title for any length of time, Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. That's what Biggs is trying to do.
Harold, your score.
Larry, I've got it 7-2 in favor of Tyrell Biggs. You know, he's winning easy. I didn't think he was ready to go in the 9th round, though. I thought that Tyrell let Renaldo get inside and land some pretty good wallops. I think Tyrell should keep the fight in the middle of the ring.
Half my balance, you understand? That's when you're getting hit. You understand? Stay on the floor now.
Okay.
Now use that defense.
Give me more. You need this. You need it.
Now look, don't let him out hustle you on the inside. Your dead middle win for you. And you hit him on the end with a big one.
Let everything go. Touch it all.
Water.
Okay, everything. Let everything water. You need it.
You ready? Have your hands up good night.
Okay, so let's see that jab.
Let him jab the shit out.
Come on, let's go. Last row.
Snipes will be throwing the punches all the way from Yonkers in this round.
Yonkers.
Which should be closer to the Garden than he's thrown a few of them. They're telling Snipes to set up his right hand with a jab, which he is attempting to do. But Biggs continues just to get off that much quicker. Snipes seems to score with a lot of punches. I mean, he's hitting Biggs with a lot of punches, but they just are not having any appreciable effects.
Biggs just gave me a wink, which proves he's quite comfortable doing what he's doing now.
All right.
I guess that was a sign of reassurance. Snipes again is trying to steal a breather.
Well, he's running out of time because I think he must know he's got to go get his man if he's going to have any chance to win this fight. And he's only got a minute and a half to do it.
But when Snipes throws his punch, he is so open. He is so susceptible for any particular punch. That was a good example there. I mean, he's walking in with his chin unprotected. Now he's using brute strength against Tyrell Biggs.
And Snipes trying to apply a little pressure here.
Biggs needs to keep those hands up there.
Now Biggs has dropped his hands perceptibly here. Now he tries to tie Snipes up with 48 seconds remaining.
Watch for the left hook of Renaldo Snipes, because again, the right hand of Tyrell Biggs constantly is dropping to his side. Snipes at this point is just trying to steal one. He's really exhausted now.
And there was a left hand.
He had to keep that right hand up. And he's a little dazed himself. Watch the left hook.
Just trying to load up with one more.
Again.
10 seconds left.
Looks over to his corner, Biggs. It's over.
Renaldo Snipes saying, I got it, I won. Now, if our unofficial judge, Harold Letterman, is to be the judge, and he is, we would see it quite a different way. But again, can't emphasize enough that we have seen some awfully unusual decisions in the time you and I have been doing boxing together.
Well, tonight, Tyrell Biggs displayed true boxing talent. Good, beautiful left jab, and he showed that he had power, especially in the right hand.
Well, again, the thing that I have to question, Ray, is, you know, if in fact the barometer of a heavyweight champion is Mike Tyson, you have to think that, yes, it's impressive that Tyrell Biggs is able to change styles, but he's got a long way to go before he's going to get in there against the likes of Mike Tyson.
Well, here we see the first and only knockdown in the fight. Tyrell Biggs throws a left punch and comes back with the counter right hand. It was a beautiful combination. That shows power and growth in Tyrell Biggs.
Now we're in round 10 with time running out, and a left hand comes out of nowhere from Renaldo Snipes. Now Snipes feels he won the fight. Most of this Madison Square Garden crowd, I would have to think, would disagree with him. Take a look at our punch stat numbers. 53% effectiveness for Tyrell Biggs against only 29% for Renaldo Snipes. Snipes was busy but ineffective.
Well, Biggs was very accurate, more than 0.5%.
What was the sound? Good.
And so we await the decision. Renaldo Snipes told us when we talked to him the other day that he's had a number of decisions stolen from him, and he has been involved in a lot of controversial decisions. Tyrell Biggs looking every part the confident winner. And let's get the final tally of our own Harold Letterman. Harold?
Well, Barry, I see it 7-3 in favor of Tyrell Biggs. Renaldo Snipes came on in the last 2 rounds, and I think he stole him by getting inside. You know, when Tyrell let Snipes get inside, Snipes did damage. Tyrell Biggs, like Ray said, has to keep the fight, he has to keep his opponent on the end of his jab. He should keep the fight in the middle of the ring. I find that the biggest problem with Renaldo Snipes is that he doesn't step with his punches. He never stepped in with the wild swing, and that's why he didn't get enough power to knock out Biggs.
You know, Harold,
if he would have stepped in, I think he might have really knocked down Tyrell Biggs.
Harold, you sound just like a judge.
Thank you, Ray.
Guy who does his boxing in a three-piece suit, right? Let's get the official decision now from Ed Darien.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I read off the scores, let's hear it one more time for these 2 young men. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the scoring by rounds as follows. Judges Billy Graham and Carol Castellano each score 7-3. And Judge Victor Suarez observed the fight at 5-5 in rounds, but in points scored it 6-5 for the winner by unanimous decision. And his 13th straight win in as many programs, Big Tyrell Biggs. You got it, baby.
Well, once again, you heard 2 judges score at 7-3 and 1 judge scores at 5-5.
One thing about, crowd, some boos here, I don't understand. I mean, this guy fought a perfect fight, except a couple times Biggs got inside for the wrong reason.
All right, let's get up to Larry Merchant with the winner, Tyrell Biggs. Larry?
Tyrell, have you ever been in a toe-to-toe slugfest for 10 rounds before?
Well, not in the actual fight. I've been in some of those in the gym, but this was the first time that I've been in one in the fight. And I'm not too big on it, so from now on, if I can avoid that, I think I will and try to win more lopsided.
You seem to be enjoying it at times, showing that you can take a punch and not flinch.
Well, it's because I'm learning a lot of things, different movement. I'm learning how to counter off of certain punches, and I still don't have it as good as I like to have it, but just the fact that I can do it and I feel comfortable doing it, it's only going to get better.
Do you feel that you let him off the hook after hurting him?
I think so, because of the fact that I tried to slow down and just try to set him up with the jab, like I told you the other day. I was going to use the jab more effectively. But if I would have just went after him, maybe it would have been different. But I knew I was in control of the fight, and I knew I was winning. He was throwing some wild punches, but I was coming back with the more effective punches.
When do you think you'll be ready to fight Mike Tyson?
Well, I'll tell you, the opposition makes me fight that much more. Now, if Mike Tyson was in the ring tonight, you would have seen a much different type of a fighter, because Mike Tyson is a different fighter. I fight, according to self-perseverance. Whatever the opponent is doing, that makes me do that much better. So if it was Mike Tyson, you would have seen a different fight. But I have a fight with Carl Williams, I believe, the next trip around, and somebody after that. And whenever Mike Tyson, whenever we come to terms to fight Tyson, then I'm more than willing to do it.
Thank you very much, Tyrell. And now back to Barry at ringside.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And that is the winner, Tyrell Biggs. On with another winner, Mike Tyson. And Mike, let me ask you first of all your reaction to the fight tonight, and your reaction to Tyrell Biggs.
Well, I thought Tyrell showed a marvelous display of heart, courage. He took a lot of great shots and came back against a very experienced fighter, and I think he should be rated a 9 on his performance.
Changed his style a little bit more flat-footed, a little bit more of a banger tonight.
Well, I'm sure that his trainer let him do that, to give him the confidence that he has a lot of power. As you know, in his right hand, he dropped him earlier in the fight, and I think Tyrell Biggs will come on.
He weighs 220 pounds. The record.
He took a lot of great shots and came back against a very experienced fighter, and I think he should be rated a 9 on his performance.
Changed his style a little bit more flat-footed, a little bit more of a banger tonight.
Well, I'm sure that his trainer let him do that, to give him the confidence that he has a lot of power. As you know, in his right hand, he dropped him earlier in the fight, and I think Tyrell Biggs coming along marvelously fighting that style.
All right, thanks very much. That's Mike Tyson. He, of course, the heavyweight champion. We'll talk more with him. Let me turn to Sugar Ray Leonard. And Ray, what about your reaction to this fight tonight? What did we see here?
Well, I think we saw a totally different Tyrell Biggs, a much stronger Tyrell Biggs. Although, for the wrong reason, he decided to get inside. He could have made the fight a lot easier by boxing and using that left jab. The left jab proved to be the key to that right hand.
Showed a good chin, a lot of promise. 10-round decision, unanimous decision. Still something of a surprise that one judge had it 5-all. Who'd have thunk it? The winner